Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode. This is the Gift Kangele podcast where we explore principles that shape our lives. We focus on morality, identity and growth. Today I'm joined by yet another exciting guest on the show where we get to dive into conversations around principles that shape our lives. Joining me today is Ngandula, who is an engineer as well as CEO and founder of Visualize Media XO, also known as VMXO. So, Jones, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's good to have you. Maybe my introduction has been brief.
No,
maybe you can
too
add
heavy.
on.
Like it's too heavy.
Okay.
Well, thank you for having me on your show, and I'm grateful for this opportunity because this can actually be will actually be like my first interview, or rather like a conversation I've had with somebody else.
Okay.
Like
you are used to being the host.
It's like I'm always, I'm always the person who's there hosting, like asking questions with people. So this is, it's that kind of a moment where like, oh, actually, it's happening like this. So yeah, and anyway, my name is, like you've already said, Jones Ngandula. And I've got a middle name that I barely use, but I love the name. But then it's only a few people know what the E stands for. It's like
definitely
Jones
our listeners will be privileged to get this information. We need to know that middle name.
Okay, so my names are Jones Edward Ngandula.
Okay.
The E, like Edward is a very special name for me. Like I don't know, it's just so special, and I don't like just giving it out.
You only use it in certain setups,
and
certain individuals only know of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe for people that don't know so much about you, or maybe it's their first time getting to hear of Jones Ngandula. Who was Jones growing up?
Jones growing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe where are you? Let's start from where are you from? Yeah.
Okay, so I was born, and I was born in Quito actually. Like that's my birthplace. And then I grew up in Lusaka most of my life, and then I went to Ndola. I grew up also in Ndola as well. Then, okay, in short, the locations of my upbringing has been divided into segments, especially to do with school. So the first, I was born in Quito, stayed there, and then moved with my mom after my dad passed. Then I grew up in Lusaka. Then from Lusaka, I stayed there to the time my mom passed. Then I moved to Ndola to stay with my elder sister. And then I've stayed with my elder sister since then till I finished school. But this is how I moved. I left Ndola. I left Lusaka, then I went to Ndola to do my grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. Then 10, 11, 12, I was in Livingstone. So it's because of school. I was in Livingstone from grade 10 to grade 12. Then from then to university, I was here in Russia. So university, I did that in Russia. So all I can say is, due to circumstances, that's how I moved locations. So it's like I'm the best of both worlds, like Lusaka and Copper Belt. It's like I've grown up in Copper Belt, I've grown up in Lusaka. It's like I know how it all works out. So when people ask me, where are you from? I can either say I'm from Lusaka or from Copper Belt. But I choose to say both. It's like I'm from both. And they're like, how is he from both? And then I have to give them this context of the story I've just given you.
It's actually my first time as well, and it's hard to imagine that you lost both of your parents. My condolences.
No problem. Thank you. It's been a good an experience of. Like the thing is, I never got to stay with my dad for long, but I love the fact that the memories I have of him are from people. So it's like, it's always an imagination. Sometimes it can be a bittersweet moment. Like, Okay. It's like every time you talk about your father, it's like what you've heard, not what you've experienced.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that kind of moment.
And you seem to have a very much exposed childhood, in that I've heard you speak about, going to this place and all that.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, they have not really been so much exposed. So because I remember the other time, I think I grew up in a very remote place. And it was at the time, because I was coming from Lusaka at the time, and I was going to this remote place. It's in Ndambu. I was going to Ndambu at the time. And, in my interactions with people, I would tell them that I'm coming from Lusaka. I almost needed to prove that I've been to Lusaka. So Lusaka to them was like this. So how did all those movements help in building this perspective you have maybe of the world today? How much has exposure played in being the individual?
I'm actually a big advocate for exposure. It's like people need to move and see how people live, and then they understand that they are not there yet to be comfortable like that. Because when I was, lucky enough, I've grown up in well-developed cities. Like I was in Lusaka, I was in Copperbelt, I was also in Livingstone. So it's like I've seen the best parts of like the country. I haven't lived, I've been to like remote places and I've seen how people are. And then it's like, and then I've been to Russia as well. So it's like I know how important exposure is, and it really gives you a different perspective on how you view things, how you do things, how you move about. Because there's a lot of things I have learned from moving from place to place that I wouldn't have known if I just stayed where I was. And the other thing is like that perspective. What's frustrating about exposure as well is the fact that you have to, the same way you had to prove to people that you're from Lusaka. You see, that's something that's frustrating. Let's give, for example, when you're here, how you consume content is either online and then, but back home, to other people, how they consume content is different. So me, I'm used to this, and then it became normal because this is how the world has shifted. It's like we stream most of the things. It's music, movies, anything. In Zambia, let me not put Zambia like that. Let me just say, in places where we come from, especially, it's like it's different. It's like they are not used to this streaming thing. They think it's something foreign. So now trying to explain that to them is like proving why this is important is a frustrating part. But I'll gladly do it because I believe exposure is a very good thing for people to understand how the world works. And then it has shaped me in a lot of ways, how I see things, how I do things, how I interact with, So I'm actually a good advocate for exposure.
Now, from the many schools you've attended, which is that one school you feel like, okay, here, most of my learning took place here, especially on how I conduct myself, the view that I have of life and so on and so forth?
Okay, I think I've been to, I started school officially as a grade 1. Because I've been to like different community schools, all those.
Or maybe you are one of the kids, that went to schools like Twin Palm.
I wish. No, but then I started officially like grade 1 I was at Bama Basic School. And I don't know if you know Bama Basic School. It's in Lusaka. Yes, it's actually Bama Road Basic School. Yes, and that was where I attended my grade 1 to grade 7. No, till grade 6. Then I moved to Ngandula where I did my grade 7 and where I did my grade 7 at suburbs. There's a school in Ngandula, it was suburbs, and then they changed the name to Suburbs Girls Basic School. And then what happened was the class I attended was the last class of boys. So it's like every intake when grade 7s pass, the boys, they leave. They don't come back at grade 8.
Yeah.
So it's like all this while they
Well,
changed
that's-
they changed the name when they had like three or two, I don't know, two classes left of grade 7 boys. So when they leave, then we were the last boys at that school. And then what was funny was I was a boy, and then I go to a school that says Suburbs Girls Basic School. So it's like we're literally the only
guys.
The only guys.
Yeah.
It was a fun experience. I attended it for like a year. And then because my elder sister, the one I went to Ngandula, she was the one who she was a teacher at Suburbs. So it's like she was like, okay, you know what? I want him to come to my school so that they can keep an eye on his man. And then I actually went to our class. It was, you know why I love these memories, man. It's because there was a moment. Like, let me give you an example. She was a teacher. She was my teacher.
Yeah.
Like, okay, obviously. And then I was very smart. Starting, I was a genius. I don't know what happened. But anyway,
We'll get to that.
we'll get to that. So I was a very smart person. And then I used to pass my number 1, you know, just always passing. Then that year, I was attending her class. She was my teacher, so whenever we have exams, tests, I used to pass number 1. And then the friends were like, it's because he's your
child.
You show him something. And they're like, oh, no, he's just actually smart. And then what happened was, I don't know, somebody else had to do the marking, and then they realized, oh, actually, he's actually a genius. And then from then, people believed. All our friends are like, yeah. And then when I passed, I actually got the highest mark in grade 7 at that school. Then I went to Perseverance Basic. It's like in the same community area. That was the school I did my grade 8 to 9. Then I passed. The highest at that school. Then I went to Hillcrest. Hillcrest, that's where I met people who are like as smart as I was. And that's where I learned that, they're actually brainy people. I have to actually put in work. But then it became frustrating to a point where like everybody's so smart, even if you do your best, you still you just can't. So it's like you really have to put in, like spend your time studying and everything. And the problem I had with that was I was a person who was trying, it's like I can't just focus on school. I want to see how to experience life differently, you know, and involving myself maybe in sports and stuff like that. So I had to balance it. Okay, you know what? I had to decide to say, if I want to be like the best at this school, I have to be studying always in books, always. But then if I want to actually be a person, like to be that an all-welcoming person to do everything, I had to also indulge in sports, do other things, like, you know. So I couldn't just focus on studying. And then luckily, I decided to pass. So long I've passed, so long it's a distinction, I'll be okay. The idea of getting 195 to be like, because 100 people can get distinctions. And then those distinctions, there will be those who got 85, 75, 90, 95. And then I was a person who was just like,
so long it's a distinction.
So long it's a distinction, it will be fun. And then that's how I managed to, look, it was a good, so coming back to your question of,
where most of your learning took place.
It was at Hillcrest. Hillcrest. By then it was Hillcrest National School. School. I don't know how it's changed now, but then that was.
But even now it's still a STEM school. I think it should be. Yeah, I think it's
a STEM school. But then didn't they remove the national or something?
Yeah, I should think so.
Oh, I don't know why they did that.
Because I wanted to come to that. You were in boarding school, right?
Yes. That's where the learning took place from, because it was the first time I was actually on my own. And growing up, I've always been a quiet person. And this might seem like it's a shock to people when I say, right now I talk more as compared to when I was So I think that's where Hillcrest is where it changed everything for me, because there I experienced life differently. There's nobody to tell me what. Okay, there were people to tell you what to do, but then not like the parent telling you what to do.
No curfew, no what.
The curfew, as you know how life in boarding goes.
Boarding school.
So it's like, okay, you know this is what you're supposed to do at this, but then there's nobody who could check up on you like that, you know. But then the experience was good, so I had to learn how to survive on my own, and it changed me to a point where like there's really something in me that I can speak, I can actually I can command this to people. Then it's when I was chosen as a DC. By then, dom captains.
Dom captains, yeah.
Yeah, that's a moment I realized I have to push people, because I was never used to
telling people
what to do, telling, you know, all those things. But then when I was chosen, I have to, and you know how it is. You are intake mates, and then you can't.
Yeah. You're almost like, can't tell me what to do.
Exactly. So from there, I was like, you know what? It's like I just have to step up and then command the need to do. And I was actually a very good dome captain. Then I ended up being a house captain, and then But the learning is like I realized a lot of things about my life from there, and then I learned which path I would love to follow, and then everything. I think it was at Hillcrest.
Do you think every person must go through a boarding kind of setup?
Yes.
Do you think it's a necessary?
It's very necessary.
Okay. You know, some parents, you know, like, I can't send my child to boarding school, it destroys them.
That's valid. That's valid. It's a valid reason why they shouldn't send their child to a boarding school.
Why do you think others get out spoiled and others, you know, they are strengthened, they learn so much? Why do you think that is?
You know what I can say?
Yeah.
I've seen people who are troublesome.
Yeah.
They came to school, they flourished in school, and then they were still troublesome, but they still flourished. So to those people, it's a personality. That's the type of person they are. They can't be influenced by anything. And then I've seen people who are actually smart. They come, good people, good students, good pupils. They come, they see the influence, they get spoiled.
So it's like a 50-50 kind
it's
of
thing. It's a 50-50 thing. It's like at the end of the day, I believe the lifestyle in boarding school is influenced by, it's yourself to decide whether you should follow. It's within you to accept or not accept. It's like, I know I picked up on a few behaviors here and then from friends, but also they were to my own good. You get? Like how to be confident in front of people, how to command something, you know? So
maybe is there something in boarding school that you did that you regret to this day? You're like, that one thing.
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
It was a learning process. That's where too much of the learning happened. Like from there, that was a breaking point to the type of person I chose to be. So there were a lot. You want me to share one?
You can go ahead.
No, it's like just small misbehaviors. No, but then I did. You know, it's like I loved the idea of, okay, I had the privilege of being a prefect. So there was this thing of coupling. You know what coupling is? So having girlfriends and Shan was not allowed, and standing idly with a girl was not allowed. It's like, it's not, for me, I just loved, you know, having conversations with these people. But then at the end of the day, it's like I coupled a lot. But then it wasn't something bad. It was just something that was like, it's a crazy thing to do. But then it was actually, so that's, I did a lot of that. And it's not like I regret it. It's like I actually appreciate the fact that it was, you know, a moment that
Yeah.
gave me confidence to maybe talk to girls and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and also I heard when you were speaking of your experience with, you know, school and all that, you spoke of you being this genius, you know, kid, passing number one and always, you know, being on top of your game. How do you think, you know, having that type of a history builds, boosts your confidence and just assuming this, you know, alpha kind of person? You're like, okay, whatever I commit myself to, I'll do it. Because, you know, you meet different types of personas, and this type of people are like, I can't do this. Like, just from the inception that I can't do this, I can't manage this. And then there are people like yourself who seem to be just these go-getters, like, whatever that I'm up to, I can do this. How do you think that has added to the belief in yourself?
It's been very, very integral because I'm a person who likes learning. It's like I love information. So if I want to learn about something or to do something, I always do research. I'm a person who never reads a lot. I like getting information from watching and listening.
Yeah.
So the one that I found myself, it's like I enjoy it so much, then I started, you know, creating this type of content. And then, wait, what's the question again?
how much did, you know, your experience of, how much did that of you being a genius, you passing number one, all those accolades from your past boost or build your belief in yourself?
Yeah, yes, I understand. I get it now. Back then, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because I was a very quiet person. So it's like, and I was a very quiet child. I was never a person who says stuff and, you know, they happen. And then, but then, so I had to do something. Because back then, when you pass at home, back in the days, when you pass, they used to give to reward passing. So, and then I realized I'm actually smart, so let me just focus on this because I know there will be a reward at the end of the day. So you had to study so that you pass and get a reward. Because there was moments where like I didn't pass, so I didn't get a reward. So it's like I had to pass because it was rewarded. And that is what made me like be that type of person to just go for it because there's a reward at the end of it all.
Yeah, and again, I think you had a very good setup in that, in as much as you were getting rewards, there was also that other side where you went to boarding school and you needed to fend for yourself. Because sometimes, you know, some children are too pampered. They feel like almost every behavior needs an award. So whenever that award doesn't come, they are no longer motivated to do certain things, and they just become all over the show and all that. Maybe you growing up, or maybe let's say your time at Hillcrest, because I remember, like you also pointed out, Hillcrest was a national school. So it was almost every child's dream who's doing well to get to such schools. So you knew that if you got in this environment, okay, you've just done everything right. Your time in Hillcrest, who were your inspiration, your role models, your time at Hillcrest?
Inspirations in terms of like the people around?
Yeah, maybe the people around, the people you looked up to, what you wanted to become at that time. What was going on in your mind?
Okay, so I've always looked up, I've been a person who, okay, how can I say this? I don't want it to sound bad, but I'm a person who's never looked up to anybody, like the people we know, but that I'm a person who admires how people do what they do. So it's like, I just admire what you are doing, and I'm like, I like that. And some point, I would love to do something like that. So you can say, I don't know how you describe the inspiration, the role model, but then okay, yes, let me just say that. There have been people who've inspired me in moments, but then there's been like solid role models that I've looked up to. And then I've always looked up to one of my elder sister's husband who passed. May his soul continue resting in peace. He's Ngawa's father. I don't know if you know Ngawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a role model who, like, whatever he did, I wanted to do it. I wanted to be like that. He was a very good man, and till date, I try so hard to be to be there.
Yeah, okay.
Then he passed, of course, before I even went to Ngandula, before I even went to Hillcrest. So it's like, he's the person who was rewarding the ideas, who was rewarding me passing. And so when you pass, you go to him, like, you passed number one. Maybe he'll give you something, he promised to buy you something, he'll buy you. That's how I loved school, because I knew there was such a reward. But then after he passed, I took it upon myself to say, like, you know what, I'll impress this man till, I don't know, it's like, I'll always continue being like this because of him. I know he would be proud to see how far I came with school, because he was a person who was an advocate for school. In environments where we grew up, going to school was just like, I'm going to school because I'm going to school. But then when you meet somebody who's from where you are, and then he's doing things for people, and then he's a good person. He's a good person, and I always wanted to be that kind of, he's a person I looked up to. But then I've had role models who's like, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. So it's like, he's been a role model. You see his life, like, I would love to emulate that. It's like what he's done with his influence, it is, way of life is something I admire, and I would love to. So those have been my biggest role models and inspirations. Yeah.
Okay, you are founder and CEO of Visualize Media XO. Why videography?
Why? Okay, to start with, I started with photography. Like, I think to give myself credit, I'm a good photographer. Like, I take good pictures of environments. My landscape photography is like even me, I look at my stuff, I get impressed. So how I got into photography is weird. It's not really weird. Okay, for me, it's like I didn't see it like that till then. Now it makes sense now. Because back then, whenever I want to take a picture with friends, they always come to me and tell me, can you take a picture of us? You take better pictures. And then if I tell them to take pictures of me, it's like, what are you doing? And then I'm trying to teach them how to take pictures of us. And then from there, every time someone wants to take a picture on people's phones, they're like, oh, yeah, give Jones, he will take better pictures. So from there, I was like, you know what? This is actually a thing. I actually take better pictures. And then when I came here, I had the opportunity to actually own my first camera, and then tested it out. Grew over the years. But then, still then, there were moments where like I loved music and I loved making videos. So it's like I had to combine what I love capturing and then mix it with video. Then it became, right now, making videos became easier than, okay, it's something I did more. And then my photography was just like,
by the way thing.
It's like I can still take pictures now, but then I'll enjoy making videos more as compared to taking pictures. And taking pictures of people is something I hate very much because people want to look a certain way. You get so
and
it's
you're
like
trying to be close to reality.
Yeah. So, but if I take pictures of landscape, it's like that's me. That's what I see, and I would love you to see it the way I see it.
Earlier on, you had said you are a very big advocate of exposure, and I think videography being into visual media, I think it plays a huge part in shaping society's perception. I think back in secondary school, I think one of the roles you'd find that the media plays is it controls debate on what society gets to talk about. And you are in that space. You are into visual media. What role do you think visual media plays into shaping the narrative? And so far, which narrative do you think it is pushing so much? And is it harmful or is it progressive?
Okay, so it can be both, eh? Visual media is something that, right now, what type of content do we consume? It's a visual type of content. So it can be pictures, it can be videos. So the role it plays is dependent on the type of people who's producing that type of content. For example, if I go and sit down to watch Barack Obama, of course what he's going to talk about is something very positive. But yet there are moments where I go and watch, if let me say somebody else goes to sit down and they watch Sexy Red, what are they going to consume? How the impact of the consumption is going to be dependent on what they are consuming. So it's like, me, I try to put out something that I feel people should see, and then it's going to add value to their lives, to their, everyday. It will just shape them in a way that I see what I see fit. So, and the other thing is, for me, the type of content that I want me to put out, it should be content that's progressive.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult in this type of industry where you want to put out progressive content, yet you're not getting enough, let's say, enough views, enough recognition. So you want to do something reckless so that you can get attention.
Yeah, there's something that is popular in that people have been talking about the algorithm, the matrix. Is it something you've experienced so far? In terms of you putting your content out there, because you've already established that your standpoint is to put out progressive content. So is it something have you experienced that push? Can you confirm that there's such a thing as an algorithm or a matrix whatsoever?
So the thing is, whenever you have a good conversation, like you're having this type of conversation, people won't really be interested in this type of conversation because they know you're just talking about, life, progressive stuff. They want drama, and then, people love drama. Dramatic stuff, dramatic stuff, they always sell more as compared to progressive stuff. And then I can attest to that the matrix, the algorithm, it favors, people have nonsense in short.
Okay.
It's like most people nowadays, it's like they just want to say, what's popping? You can hear, no, this, for example, is it today? I don't know. I saw one very prominent woman in Zambia is writing a book, her book is coming out. It's like, that's content that I will never find popular anywhere.
Yeah, true.
But if you hear any drama, Mwizokanji, Yomaps, Kidis, it's like it will be all over everywhere, and people will engage with that. So it's like dramatic stuff, it sells more. And then
do you think that's human nature, or is something that we've allowed ourselves to be accustomed to?
I think we've allowed ourselves to be accustomed to, and people have just tapped in it, and it's very regressive.
Yeah. How would you describe your personal philosophy?
My personal
what would you say is your philosophy? Are you a stoic? Are you a rationalist? How would you describe you?
Okay, so to be frank, to be honest, I think to term myself like a stoic, a rationalist, all those things, I don't have. Okay, let me tell you the type of person I am, and then you tell me what type of philosophy. I'm a person who believes in doing things because you feel it, and then you have to do it. It's your duty to do right by people. It's not really like, if I don't want to, I don't have to. Of course, you can be that person, but then you have to. How can I? Okay, let me tell you this. If I do something, I mean it. It's like I accepted it. Like within me, it said, yes, you can do this.
Yeah, I think you are a stoic in a bigger sense. Yeah, you are a stoic in that it's something inborn, but again, it has got an element to you have to do right by people. So, but again, it would be difficult to throw you into one category because you seem to be tapping in everything, because there's an element of being rational to it as well, especially that of doing right by people. Because there are people who are like, hey, let's just move through this. If we crush anyone, that's their problem.
But so, that's something I like about my life. Is like the end goal is to go to point B. How we go to point B, I don't know, but we must be at point B.
Yeah. Somehow we have to figure out a way.
Like, let's take, for example, my university life. It's like it has always been a challenge. It's like there's a language, and then at the end of the day, I must get that degree. I must get that paper.
Yeah.
But
finishing what you started.
You can't just give up, or okay. Of course, there are instances where somebody fails and then they go home. But then failing is not the option. The option is to get to point B by getting that degree. So how I get to that degree is up to me to find out. And then, but the point is, whatever I do, I still have to get to point B and get that degree.
Okay, you being in visual media, you are one person who has to bring out certain elements of an individual. Maybe they've got a message, or maybe they've got something they want to relay to other people. At this time, in this era, there are a lot of social issues. We can talk of LGBTQ, I don't know the other letters and so on.
The rainbow community.
The rainbow community. How do you navigate that? Because I think my first experience was that because we have talk clubs in universities, and we're in a talk, I was attending one of the talk clubs. You know, you introduce yourself. My name is Gift, I love this and what not and so on. Then somebody says, my name is this, call me them. So for me, it was strange. Call me them, what do you mean? And all that. So how have you been able to navigate that, in that you run, yes, you are in a media space, and it is your job, of course, to bring out that expression of people. But of course, you encounter certain things perhaps that you don't agree with. So how do you navigate that in terms of staying true to your values and being able to fulfill your obligation of allowing people to express themselves, especially as a videographer?
So, you know, before I work with people, because lately I've been making a lot of music videos as compared to just having a podcast, sit downs and talking. I've worked with a lot of people, and then I've never encountered, I haven't been put in a space where I have to choose, oh, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this. At the end of the day, if I work with you, the vision has to be aligned. It's like, I see what you're trying to do. I can help you execute that. You give me an idea. If I like it, it's like, I want to be part of this. That's how I move. And then coming to such a moment where, okay, for me, I haven't been put in a space where I have to say no to this and say yes to this. It's because everything I've done so far has aligned. But right now, we are being faced with the challenges of accommodating everybody. It's like, you can't just be out there and say, no, me, I don't like the rainbow community. So you see that when you do that, you're an enemy. Okay? So we are being forced to accommodate everybody, even when we don't subscribe to the same principles. So it's like whatever you put out there has to be accommodating to everybody.
Yeah.
But what I can say is I respect everybody's values and principles, but they shouldn't just force it in our faces. Like, do what you do with yourself, like on your own. Don't force it on everybody. You get? That's the only take I have over this type of social issues. Like, do whatever you do. Don't force it. It's like me as a Christian forcing every person I meet to recognize that I'm Christian and they should be accepting for the fact that I'm Christian. Even it's like you go into a mosque and telling Muslims that you have to be, like, you have to see me, I'm Christian. I can pray even in the space where I'm not, I'll be frowned upon.
So there's an element to which we're trying to, play down the levels of tolerance, you think?
Yes.
Okay. And I think the other striking social issue is abortion.
Abortion.
Yeah, there's debate as to whether life begins at conception or, it's a woman's right to decide what she does with her body and so on and so forth. What's your take on that?
I think it's a woman's choice at the end of the day. It's like it's her body that will go through the process, the changing process. It's like this thing, it's either you pick a side or you don't. I don't want to be the person who doesn't pick a side. It's like for the type of person I am, if you decide not to, don't. If you decide to go ahead, do it. Because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. And then I also believe...
But do you think there's a certain time when abortion can never be an option?
Of course, of course. It's like when you see there's the pregnancy there, it's like it's pointless to even go ahead and do that. Because it's already big enough to...
But you see, I think also what is underplayed is how big the introduction of a contraceptive pill was or is. Because, back in the days, people would restrain themselves from indulging into sexual behavior and so on and so forth. But nowadays, it seems that, because I think back then, the prominent reason for sex was
it's a gift from God.
A gift from God, and multiplication, or I don't know the correct word, but I think that used to be almost the purpose of sex. But nowadays there seems to be a shift in that there is the pleasure aspect of it that seems to be more prominent. So it's no longer about reproduction, but it's just about the pleasure aspect of it.
So,
do you think the contraceptive pills have played down on the moral aspect of it, of society especially?
So let me tell you something that a friend of mine said back not a long time, like some time back. He said when you remove the consequences, morals will fade.
Okay.
So here's an example. People indulge because there are no consequences. Back then, people couldn't indulge because the consequences were like, you get somebody pregnant, and then if you're not ready to, it will be an issue for you, meaning you have to go with it all the way. So that was the consequence that people feared back then. So it's either after marriage, so when you're married, even if you get pregnant, you still be, because it's your wife, you get the child, you take care of the child and the mother. But now, there are no consequences. No consequences, because for a fact, if she gets pregnant, we can use the pill.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you remove consequences, like morals fade away. That's facts. And I've seen it, I've experienced it to a point where, like, you know, you're not supposed to do this. When you do it, these are the consequences.
Okay.
And then when you remove the consequences, what's stopping you from doing it?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Now, you know, it has been in the effort of man to eradicate
Consequences.
Consequences or struggles. Do you think the attempt or the work to eradicate struggles has brought more good than harm? Or let's just say civilization, because maybe if we say civilization, it would be too broad and open. But do you think the attempt to eliminate struggles has done more good than harm?
I think, to be honest, I think it has done more good.
Okay.
Of course, fact is, there will be consequences for any progression. You can, okay, let me give an example.
But society seems to be
at the end of the day, we are a society that has to evolve. It's like mankind still is evolving. So when something stops, you have to evolve and find a way of how you're going to work with something else.
So we are yet to adapt to these big changes that seem to have happened. Okay.
Facts.
What's your take on suicide? What's your take on mental health? Because especially in Zambia, there seem to be a rampant.
I'm a person who's, I'm up for, like, I'm a person who would love people to take care of their state of mind. Like, I'll advocate for that, and I think it's actually very important.
Do you think it's a real thing? Some people say mental health is not real.
Of course it's real. This is the thing. People who don't know is because they haven't researched. They don't have the knowledge. They don't know what it is.
Realists would say that they're like, get over whatever you're going on, whatever is going on with you, and just get on with life.
When emotions are involved, it's actually very difficult to just get on, move on. Of course, I can be depressed about something for a very long time, but I still wake up, I go to work, I do everything I'm supposed to do. People who don't realize that it's something that's in it, that's there, is you have to deal with it. Even the way you do the work will change. It's like, we complain about going for work, about going to school. Why do we complain? It's like, why are you complaining about going to school? Why did you even start going to school in the first place?
Okay.
You want to get to point B. That's why you started going to school. How you get to point B is up to you to make sure, like, it's good enough. Okay. So people don't really have the full information of what it is. No wonder they just say you can know. People can be depressed. People do get depressed. People have issues. Mental health issues are actually there. Like, it's not something, okay, for nowadays, some people just do it to get attention because it's what everybody's saying or doing, blah, 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 blah. I'm also depressed. You feel like, you know. But I believe people need to have information. They need to be told what it is. Even you, what you don't know can't kill you. So it's like, but then again, that's a very dangerous way of living. It's like,
sure.
What you don't know, no, it does kill you because you didn't know it.
Okay. Do you think the past of an individual counts in their life? You know, there are people who use dubious methods, you know, consciously. Like, I'll do this, then they foresee at some point I'll stop this. I'll do this, get what I want, then later on change my ways. Do you think the past of an individual counts in terms of how we treat them, in terms of how we look at them, or the moment they decide to stop whatever that they were indulging in, then we should look at them differently? Speak of prostitutes, speak of criminals, speak of...
Okay.
What's your take on that?
Very good question. I think, me personally, I've seen people who are so wrong, then they change their life, they live a very good life. It's like a more righteous life as compared to even me, myself. But I've seen this person grow up. His behavior is something I wouldn't even indulge. And then right now, they are standing in front of the pulpit, preaching and stuff like that. My friends, they used to play around all those things. It's like, so it is possible. I can see that, like, of course. But the thing is, it's very difficult. Like, trusting is not easy. Trusting, so it's like you know this person's background. Are you sure when they show you, they change to now, the type of person you see, like, is this, it's like you start questioning your trust. Like, is it for real? Like, did you really change? So it becomes that kind of a thing. But then I do believe people do change for a fact. But the trusting process is what is going to be difficult for literally everybody.
Do you think there's a single factor we can look at to notice true change from just...
Yeah.
What can you point at?
It's change behavior.
Change in behavior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time, there are things that people do that you know, no, this is not genuine.
Okay.
You can tell, but nah. Nah.
Okay, we could go on to speak to many matters, but I think we have to wrap up the conversation because I think we've been speaking for long. And I think let's wrap it up on mentorship. What's your take on mentorship? Do you think mentorship is a real thing? Do you have any mentors? Are you mentoring anyone?
I'm not mentoring anyone, and I don't have any mentors. The thing is, I do believe like it's very important, but I'm a person who's always, I know what I want to do. So it's like, I can learn from somebody. I learn from people a lot, but then that person, it's like, you know how I take it when you have a mentor. It's like you have somebody who's showing you how to move in life. It's like, oh fuck, that is very nice. Okay, the thing is, most people look up to me. And it's so crazy to think that people look up to me. Even now, it's like, oh, do you really? Because they've seen how I've moved about in life, and then they're like, big man, yes. And then I was like, if I'm like a wrong role model for somebody, it's because the way I live my life. Okay, I don't know. There's things I do.
Okay, honestly, I just think that sometimes the burden is just too heavy on ourselves because, like, you know every of your flaws.
Yes, that's
the
thing.
So that's too hard on you. But for others, they don't know that. Like, they know the good qualities about you, so they want to emulate that. That's why it may be so easy for somebody to have you as their role model or their mentor, and it would be so hard for you to take them as a mentee or things of that nature because you know the areas in which you failed in. But you see, I've never been comfortable with using the word mentor itself because I think the way it has been marketed or the way it has been said, it seems so much so that the person who you regard your mentor as your mentor is almost this demigod, right? Like you knew before them, you do things for them. So for me, I've never really been comfortable calling anybody a mentor. But the only people that I have comfortably called mentors, number one is my dad, and second is Dr. Clinton. So these are people I have regarded to as my mentors in the true meaning of the word itself. And there's something that I really loved that I learned from my mentor, Dr. Clinton. He said, when you lose, you teach, okay? And when you win, you guide. And I don't know if I've caught it right, but it was in that line. And so I also think that it may be heavy on you, but there are definitely people that you can really guide and teach in that, in as much as you know all your flaws, there's still people that are yet to experience life, especially when you said the past also does count, if you remember my question earlier on. Because at the end of the day, what we don't want is somebody to have
to repeat
all this past, because it becomes heavy. Like, if you would have done all these things, even when you decide to change, you still know it that you did all these things. That's why I think even people that kill, they may manage to get away with it, but at some point, they are the ones on themselves that come back confessing to say, okay, I did this, because it becomes so much of a burden upon them.
I like what you said about when you lose, you teach, and then when you win,
you guide.
Yeah. That's a very good thing, and I think I've been living with. Okay, I can say I can relate.
Yeah,
It's because most of the L's that I have taken, I've tried to show the people that the people I'm with usually like, nah, don't move like that. Try to move like this, and then from the wins, I've guided people to say, okay, you can do it like this, you can do it like this. It's actually, I think I relate to that and actually live with it. It's just good that somebody put it in words like that.
No, like I said earlier, there's so much to touch on, so much we haven't been able to discuss. Enough time. But hopefully we do get to have another session where we get to dissect other matters. And I'm looking forward to more content from VMXO. Maybe in a few seconds, what should we be looking out for in regards to VMXO?
Okay, in regards to VMXO, we have a lot of projects going on right now, and especially with Tilo being in Russia, there's a lot of content that we have that people put out and people should enjoy. And we were working on a lot of music videos with people. I'm deliberately forcing myself to work with literally everybody and anybody on any project because I have been so content with how I work and I don't know how other people work, but then I want to learn from other people more than I used to. And I just more music videos for people, more content on YouTube by next year. From January, we're going to continue with the Cube Session podcast. And we'll be putting out more videos and working with a lot of people on more projects.
Engineer Jones and founder as well, CEO, it's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. And before I actually leave, this is a good thing that you have going on. And I love the fact that you are like the pioneers of having these things, you know. It's like as a community here, we are not a lot of people doing this. And then when I see other people doing it, I'm like, yes, I want this, and this is beautiful. And I love to see it.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. To our listeners, to our viewers, this has been yet another episode. I was joined by engineer, founder, CEO Jones Ngandula, who is a graduate engineer as well as CEO of Visualize Media XO. You will do well to check out a lot of content from him. But this has been yet another episode. Until next time, it's bye-bye for now.
Peace.